All right, now to growing up with AI and the effects it could have on your kids' development. Concern is growing over how children as young as 1 are spending more time watching educational videos. Our next guest found content creators are now churning out AI slop to cash in on viewers who can't even walk or talk yet. So Alexandra Levine is a tech reporter at Bloomberg and joins us now live. Thank you for joining us. So we're talking Gen Alpha here. Are babies really glued to their screens?
Well, Perry, they're becoming increasingly glued to their screens, yes. I mean, look, parenting is hard, and parents are doing everything they possibly can to be able to balance it all. And for many, YouTube and YouTube Kids are increasingly becoming part of that equation. Some parents have called YouTube a babysitter, some call it a third parent. And so what we are seeing, according to Pew data, is that YouTube use by babies under the age of 2 is rapidly on the rise. And as you've said, this is not only giving YouTube the potential to hook an entire generation before they're even able to walk or talk, but also it is very notably coinciding with the AI boom. And that is something not lost on content creators who have seen the runaway success of popular children's channels like CoComelon, like Miss Rachel. And now they view this as an incredibly lucrative opportunity to be able to use AI tools to create AI-generated content targeting babies.
So we have this new term now, AI slop. Break it down for us. What is it?
Sure. I mean, slop is in the eye of the beholder, I like to say. But if you look on YouTube, you will absolutely find some educational content on its children's platform, YouTube Kids. But you will also find a lot of content that is purporting to be educational and that appears to be created with AI. Some of this is AI clickbait at best, AI slop at worst, but really you're seeing that a lot of the content is more attention grabbing, that it may have a title like Learn Your ABCs, Learn Baby's First Words, but really when you dig down, it's hard to figure out where the content came from, who created the content, and whether it actually has any educational value.
So just to be clear, content creators are now targeting 1 to 3-year-olds.
Absolutely. We saw content creators on YouTube who are trying to teach their viewers, which their audiences total in the millions, how to use free AI tools like ChatGPT, which is widely available and very easy to use, to spin up very repetitive, very catchy children's song lyrics, then plug it into a separate AI video generator tool. And then within minutes, they're able to package all of this content into a very animated, very attention-grabbing reel that in many cases looks not a whole lot different than what you would see in a Pixar film. And yet it's created by folks who may not necessarily have the best interests of young babies in mind.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned young children, young minds. What are experts saying about how this impacts their brains?
What they're really worried about is that all of this content could be consumed during what is arguably their most crucial developmental period. So as babies are learning to make sense of the world around them, if they are not able to tell what is, quote unquote AI slop versus what is real, and also if they're not able to distinguish between what is actually, what is actually valuable versus what is something simply attention grabbing, and that is why it's piquing their interest, that there's concern that this may affect the way that they understand the world and the way that they interact with any kind of information around them that they're trying to process.
So what is YouTube saying about all this?
YouTube will be the first to say that it is not actually built or marketed for babies under the age of 2, that it is really recommended for ages 2 to 12. And yet, babies, because of the demands that are growing on parents, are ending up in front of YouTube anyways. And so obviously the concerns about, screens are not new for young children, but the concerns about AI are new. And YouTube says that it is doing everything that it can to make sure that the content that ends up on YouTube Kids is actually both human vetted and also ends up there via automation. And they believe that some of the advice that the content creators are giving on creating this AI generated content is actually bad advice that could actually get some folks kicked off of the platform if they were to follow it.
Alexandra Levine, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.